Let's go. Let's get after it.
Yes, sir.
And Coach.
Thank you.
Oh, I have goosebumps watching that clip. That, of course, is from American Underdog, a new film out Christmas Day that shares the story, of course, of Kurt Warner, who's joining us now with his lovely wife, Brenda, talks about the story of their amazing journey, not only through football, but their marriage. What a treat to have you both on the show. I know you guys have been doing a lot of press around this, which I think is just so fitting this time of year to tell your story. Good morning to the both of you.
Good morning.
Good morning to you as well.
Kurt, let's start with you because, again, I just think now more than ever, I think this idea, and I'm kind of going through some things personally of where you think you have life figured out. You think you have what your perfect plan is, what you've prayed for, what you think God, is going to be able to say, hey, this is what I think. And then he does something, he shows up in a way that you never imagined possible. And that's what this story is.
Without a doubt. People ask us, why make this movie now? Well, we've been trying to make this movie for about 10 years. It just so happened that it comes out now. And we say that all the time is, could there be a better time? It come out on Christmas, come out here as hopefully we're coming to the end of this pandemic. But so many people find themselves in a different place now than they probably thought they ever would be 3 years ago. And I remember those moments. We remember those moments that, there was times that we thought, how did we get here? And maybe more importantly, how do we get out of here? How do we get and take a step towards what we really want in life? And we believe this movie has a chance to give people hope, to say, your circumstances may say this right now, but those circumstances don't have to define you. They don't have to stop you from being everything that you want to be, accomplishing everything you want to accomplish. So, after 10 long years, we think we got the movie right, and we believe the timing is right.
It's a parable about, are we willing to accept help even if it doesn't look exactly like we thought it was going to?
Well, and I love that concept. I think we all have this preconceived notion of what help, what God, what everything is supposed to look like, what the plan for our life is supposed to look like. We have less than a minute left. I wish I had the entire hour with you, Mitch. Invite everybody out tonight. We're showing the information. Tickets still available. It's got to be fun. I'd imagine with this book in particular, I think what you're going to hear is a lot like what I'm telling you of just people's that aha moment.
Yeah. And I meet a lot of people, obviously, ever since Tuesdays with Maury, and the 5 people we meet in heaven who have lost people and are looking for comfort. And that Stranger in the Lifeboat is a lot about that. I wrote it in the aftermath of having lost a child myself. My wife and I lost a little girl that we adopted from Haiti, from an orphanage we operate. And I had to kind of figure out how to heal about that. And there's a moment in the book where one of the passengers asks this God character, why do people have to die? If you're really God, explain, why do you take people? And the answer is, why is it that people always ask on earth, why did God take somebody? Maybe a better question is, why did God give them to you? What did we do to deserve their love or their affection or their memories? Didn't you have that with, in his case, your wife? And he says, yeah, every day. And he said, well, I know that you cry when people on earth die, but I can assure you they're not crying. Yeah. And for me, I wrote that sentence as much for me as for the readers, because I had to kind of come to some kind of grips myself with healing and understanding, why things would happen and why a little girl would be taken. But when I looked at it instead, it's like, well, wait a minute. We adopted her. We were in our 50s, and suddenly we got to be parents for the first time with our own children at that age. That was an answer to a prayer from 16 years.
Oh, Mitch, I love that. Again, I wish we had the whole hour. Well, I am full of joy today as I am standing with the brothers of For King and Country. I know, I wanted to start there with joy because I first have to congratulate you guys on this Grammy nomination that you guys just got. Tell me how you're feeling.
Well, it's, I think both Luke and I, we woke up that morning to a load, because they announced it first thing in the morning, to a bombardment of text messages. The accolades are a funny thing because in the end, it's just a statue, but it's all about what it represents. And what to us it represents, it was for joy, and it represents that this song, which we put a lot of heart and effort into, is resonating with the people.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and what I love about it is it seems to this song in particular is not only just on the Christian charts, but it was able to merge. I hate the word secular, but that's where it's at. And I think for a song like that, I think that's what this nation, America, needs more of right now, which I'd imagine is partly why you guys wrote it.
Absolutely. I think that's one of the most thrilling things is to see how it's just gone to people that are in need of joy, right? And when you really get down to it, everybody, no matter where the lines are in the world, everybody needs joy. And to really have a song that's focused on choosing and not just being something that we think, I woke up today and it's just floated right in my room. It's not something like that. Sometimes it's hard to obtain, sometimes it's hard to grasp, and sometimes it takes some effort, sometimes it takes some choosing. And so I think that's been a real thrill for us to see that actually take place, break down some walls and get all over the world.
The Chosen, you've heard me talk about it before, is a global phenomenon. It's a multi-season TV series that's been viewed now 374 million times in over 190 countries. And now there is a Christmas special that's coming to theaters. In fact, they sold out the first couple of nights, that they're now expanding it. And joining us this morning, I'm so excited to welcome the show's creator, Dallas Jenkins, along with Phil Wickham, who is a part of this special as well as one of the many talented musicians that's a part of this as well. Gentlemen, thanks for joining me.
Yeah, thanks for having us on.
Thank you so much.
I had a chance. I watched like the first hour. I got a sneak peek this morning before doing the show today, and I'm just on cloud nine. I'm so excited. It was funny. I was telling you guys I had a chance to talk with Daryl a couple weeks ago when this was first announced. Did you guys have any idea how popular this was going to be, and that you were going to have to expand it to I don't know how many more theaters now, and a whole extra week? Dallas, we'll start with you.
Well, I'll say I'm always surprised and not surprised. And I mean by that, I really have kind of given up on having expectations or making predictions or anything like that. I'm genuinely just trying to do everything I can to honor God and to be faithful to the scriptures in the show and do the best I can, because I used to feel responsible for results. And now I just feel like it's my job to give loaves and fish, and then God can feed the 5,000 if he wants.
I mentioned that goal at the top, and you've been very vocal about it too, of reaching 1 billion people. What are your thoughts today? Again, you set that goal in the beginning, I guess, but I mean, are we hopeful that we're going to get there?
If there's ever a time that the world needs Jesus, it's now. And, I think it's a noble goal. I think it's an attainable goal, but it's going to take more than just us. And our whole goal of The Chosen is when someone finds and connects with the show and it speaks to them, that we give them the tools and the community to actually spread it. And I do believe that it needs to get out there. And we have seen tremendous, massive growth because people, once they watch the show, they become advocates for the show, and they start talking to their friends and family about this show that's so disruptive. And that's how we're going to get to 1 billion people.
And that's what I did. That's what I watched it, and I thought, wait, I need to tell more people about this show. Even watching you in the latest playoff game, you weren't even playing, but you could see you in the dugout really cheering. And I mean, you do. There is something about you. I think I know what it is. We've talked about our faith and how important that is to both of us. But you ooze joy. And I think when you can enter that and really showcase that to the world, I think it means a lot. And even to players like my son who watched you in the playoffs.
Yeah, no doubt. It's perspective for me. I think about other things that I could be doing. I think about what people would give up to be doing what I'm doing. And I never want to lose sight of that perspective. And like you mentioned, my faith, strong in my faith, to love and respect everyone I meet, regardless of what they can do for me, what they can provide, who they are, how much money they have. It doesn't matter. For me, it's just loving, respecting, enjoying life to the fullest. And, I appreciate you recognizing that. That's it's genuine. It's organic, and it's not forced, because I'm just so happy. I feel so blessed.
What I prayed for, and I prayed with our boys before the game. Number one, God, I pray that nobody will get hurt. and I pray that we'll do our best. That's all I could ask for, you know.
When did you know that you were going to be more than a football coach and that you were kind of taking this role as a life coach, essentially, too? I mean, did you own that responsibility kind of pretty quickly?
Hey, I've known it all my life. It's a good point. You know, a lot of times you'll let somebody say, when did you become a Christian? Well, if somebody asks me, when did you, I don't know. That's all I've ever known. That's the way my mother and dad raised me. They took me to church every Sunday, and every Sunday night, every Wednesday night, every time they opened the doors, you know. And I didn't want to go. I was like any other kid. I want to stay home and play, you know. Yeah. But they did, and I'm glad they did, you know, because I found out what's important in life. And so I've always felt like, well, there's no doubt in my mind. Some will disagree because everybody has their own philosophy. That we're put here for a reason. I don't think you just happen to be there. I don't think I just happen to be, or he happened to be there. I think God has a plan for us. And as we go through life, we find out what that plan is.